Welcome to the Homeschool Paradigm Podcast. I'm Angela, and I have Rachel and Sarah both here today.
Hello.
Hi.
I'm like, say hello. So today I thought we would talk about fiction reading, which is a little bit different than the stuff we normally talk about, I know, but it's so fun, fiction. And I wanted Rachel's opinion too about some of that because since she writes fiction. All right, so I did look up a study on, I don't know, PubMed. Let me see. National Library of Medicine, PubMed Central. It's one of those .gov websites. So,
You gonna read
and
it?
what
Are you gonna read it?
am I going to read? I'm just going to read a little bit of it. I don't
Oh.
even, who is it by? I don't even know who it's by. I'm sorry. I probably need to say who it's by. Rosemary Marshall, looks like. Okay, so when reading immerses you via your imagination, it induces a state of deep focus, transiently releasing the mind from bustling or teeming thoughts and thus providing an active form of relaxation. What do you think of that?
Whoa.
Whoa.
I think that happened when I read a book 3 months ago.
The last
What
time you read
happened?
fiction was 3 months ago.
Probably.
Oh, Sarah.
My therapist told me to read a fiction book, so I went to the library and got one.
Did actually reading it release your mind from bustling or teeming thoughts and provide an active form of relaxation?
I mean, I got pretty into the story, and sometimes I read it at night when it's hard for my brain to calm down at all.
Did it help?
Mhm.
So it kind of, I think when I like really read it and paid attention to it, it did help.
Do you think it helped
Oh yeah.
you not have all that other stuff on your mind to try and go to sleep?
Um,
Or do you think you went right back to
I
thinking
think
about
for a while because I was also thinking about it after I read it.
it? Yeah, good.
And also I think for some reason I do remember this that when I was reading the book for like a couple weeks, because I got through it in like a week and a half or two,
Hmm.
hmm
I noticed that I felt like I wasn't in my head as much, but also like in a way that made me like see the real world like more realistically, if that makes sense. I don't
Yeah,
know.
it
I don't
Oh
know
totally
how
yeah.
to
makes sense.
explain that. I don't know
Yeah.
if Rachel
Yeah.
feels that way when she like writes books and gets into it, maybe. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah, I
It's like I would
do.
read the book and get into that, but then I would be done reading it and I would think about it for a little bit after, but then I felt like grounded or something after, I guess.
Hmm.
hmm
I love that.
Yeah.
Sarah, you need to read more. I have to say, even though we read tons and tons and tons of books during homeschool, that it was never her favorite thing to be listening
No.
to a book. So if it sounds like Sarah
And
never
now
reads a book,
and now my husband thinks I have ADD because I can't listen to anything.
you can't listen.
Yeah, I don't think listening is your learning style.
Oh,
No.
what was Rachel gonna say?
What was Rachel gonna say?
Oh, yeah, you were saying like you don't know if I feel that when I write. Yeah, what I notice when I write more is that like my brain, I want to call it slower, but it's more observant.
Mm.
So I will like notice a lot of different things or be able to feel like I guess you could call it more present, even though I don't really like that term. Like I know everything that's around me, I notice things, I pay more attention, or it's easier to pay attention and things like
Hmm.
that.
Do you think you're looking for ways to describe things or
No,
no?
no, I a lot of people do that. They're like, oh, I'll look for, or writers, I guess, do that. They'll be like, oh, I'll pay attention to the world around me so I'm able to write it. But I think writing it helps in being able to have your brain not constantly distracted by like thoughts in your head somehow.
You think
It
it's like the other
does.
way around?
Yeah, I think it's the other way around a lot of times.
Oh.
Mm,
So
I
I
guess like
was,
if you did
yeah.
practice, then you could write it better, but I do think it's the other way around.
huh. Well, so I was just thinking about what Sarah said, and in the next paragraph in this study, it says Many argue that fiction has the power to enhance real-world empathic responses.
Does that mean it would like maybe make your reactions more match what's going on instead of like over? Is that what it means? I'm
Maybe.
trying to
I mean,
figure
I
out what
think
that
because right
means.
before that, the empathic thing was
Or help you
about
be more regulated in your response. I don't know.
maybe it was right before that it said by allowing us to recognize similarities between ourselves and what is other, so like the characters,
Hmm.
reading
Yeah.
fiction has been found to ameliorate prejudiced perceptions, enabling us to metaphorically walk a mile in a character's shoes. Can transform judgment into understanding. So, yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, something I do think a lot about for fiction is that when you're reading fiction, your brain isn't actually able to tell the difference. Like, even though you know what you're reading and the things that are happening to a character in a book you're reading aren't happening to you, like, you just know that, parts of your brain aren't able to tell the difference between reading that in a fiction book and that thing actually happening to you and you living through it.
Hmm.
So when you read more fiction, and like in my case, I feel like when I write it, but like when you read more fiction, then like that paragraph mentioned like empathetic
Uh-huh.
responses and all of that, and having less prejudice is because you've you haven't actually experienced things, but like physically the way your brain is wiring and everything, it's just as though
Hmm.
you have experienced those things. So all those things that
Oh.
you read in fiction it's going to make you like more empathetic, less prejudice,
Hmm.
because obviously a person who has just experienced a lot more things, like, mom,
Yep.
if you're a certain age, and then compared to me or
Yeah.
Sarah, you have a lot more ability to handle situations or handle emotions and things like that. It's the same
Mm.
thing. So if you read fiction, it's as though you've had those experiences. So your brain's not going to freak out when something new happens because basically it's just not new to you anymore
Hmm.
because you read
Wow.
it.
That's
I didn't
crazy,
think
isn't
about
it? I mean,
that.
that's to me, that sounds like it's really important.
Yeah.
Like that makes fiction so
Yeah.
important.
Yeah.
I need to get another book.
Get another book, Sarah. What book should Sarah get?
Ethan said he noticed yesterday that I like watching and reading like mysteries type stuff,
Hmm.
but not like super intense, hard to figure out,
Yeah.
like light mysteries.
Oh, that's why I like
Yeah.
reading. I haven't done it for a while, but I like reading Nancy Drew right before bed. Because you don't have to worry about
Yeah.
her. She can be in a plane crash or get,
She's crazy.
poisoned or knocked
She could
out, and
skydive
she's
without a
totally fine.
parachute and she'd be totally fine.
Yeah.
Well, I love that. Fiction's so important. So read fiction. Don't
I think
just
fiction's good
read
for being curious too.
nonfiction. Yeah, being curious. Yeah. Don't just have nonfiction in your homeschool. You need to have fiction. Also, I
Yeah.
did want to just ask Rachel one thing, because a lot of people, a lot of homeschool moms talk about analyzing literature and I'm not
Oh,
saying there's anything wrong
this
with
question.
analyzing literature. Go ahead and analyze some literature, learn what's the word? Literary devices or whatever,
Oh, yeah.
but also know that the author didn't always mean what you think they meant. Or that's not exactly what I mean to say. The
Wait, that's
Mean
author
a
something
question.
deeper.
wasn't always looking to do what you think that they're looking to do to your brain. I don't know how to say it, Rachel.
Hmm.
You just write
Yeah,
your
what?
story.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, so what was the question? Did you have a question with that or just,
Well, sometimes when you're analyzing literature, you're like, what was the author trying to do? Trying to
yeah.
convince you of this or what? I don't even know because we
Oh, I
didn't
hated that. I
explain.
think you did that one time. I think I hated it. And I was like, this is the most boring thing
You
I've ever
can't,
done in my
first of
whole life.
all, you can't know. But secondly,
Yeah.
you've talked to other authors too. You're not the only one that just tells your story.
Maybe the question for Rachel would be
Yeah.
what to actually do with literature to help your kids enjoy it.
Yeah. I mean, I think the more helpful thing, and I think it's just my opinion, but I think they'll get more out of it. If you're gonna talk about what happened in a story, talk about the feelings or talk about a time, like if you want to ask specific questions, maybe some sort of question like you can ask your kid, Oh, was there any point in the book where you thought a character was having a feeling that you've had? When did you have that
Yeah.
feeling? And what did the character do with that feeling? What did you do about it? Because anything you get from reading is more personal or subjective.
Yeah.
So if you can pull those things out of it, because that is the value of fiction, is
Right.
being able to pull those personal things out of it. It's not being able to read the author's mind, because that's
And
yeah, I don't like that either, because you can't read an author's mind. And a lot of times an author, like, I'll get to the end of a book writing it, and there might be some sort of something that, like, a literary, all I can think of is device now that you've said it. There's
I
another word
know.
for it.
No, yeah.
But
Some
specific
literary
things,
element or whatever it is.
yeah, like elements end
Maybe.
up in there because literature comes from life and people, and you're writing about life and people, and so they're going to show up. And you might use something on purpose occasionally, but for the most part, or for a lot
Oh,
of
maybe
authors,
like foreshadowing. You're like, oh, I could,
yeah, you might
you
do
might
something
do
on
that,
purpose.
but generally you're
Yeah.
just telling a story. But I think you even
And
wouldn't
a
be
lot of
like,
times when you get to the end, you'll realize that as an author, you included something
right.
that somebody might look at and say, oh, the author did this. And technically, I did do that, but that was not like a sneaky way or a
Yeah.
specific thing that I wanted in there at least half the time or
I
more.
remember times during editing some of your books, we've been like, oh,
That's really
that's
cool.
just it's just so natural because honestly, it's not like they came up with a list of
Yeah.
things to do to readers and then authors plug those things into their books. That's just not how it
Yeah.
goes.
If a person
It's
wants to
from
analyze a book like that, that's fine. But in my opinion, I don't like that very much. And if you do that, you should realize that you're just looking for things that are in that book, whether or not the author put them there or not. That
Mhm.
it may
Yeah,
not be.
which is fine. Yeah, and that's fine. Like I'm sure that there's value in that,
Yeah.
but don't do it all the time.
Yeah.
You're gonna
Use
kill
the
it for your
value.
kids if you do it all the
Yeah.
time.
Because the real value of fiction is not learning like the literary devices and beats
Right.
and things. It's more that like personal thing,
The character
the
eliminating
experiences that you've now
prejudices or whatever that we've
had,
been
basically.
talking about. Yeah.
Yeah.
So let fiction do its work.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, girls.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening.